We are waiting for the other panelists to join. Meanwhile, you are Margi, right?
Yes, sir.
And you are from which place?
Ahmedabad, Gujarat.
Ahmedabad, Gujarat. And you stay, which part of Ahmedabad do you live in?
Sir, I live close to Motera Stadium.
Close to the Motel. That is somewhere between Gandhinagar and Ahmedabad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's great.
Yes, sir.
And since you have written your name as Shah, so probably one should wish you a Jai Sri Krishna.
Okay. So there is Vaishnavs and Jains both who have the surname Shah. So I am a Jain.
So Jai Jinendra.
Yes, Jai Jinendra. Thank you very much.
Okay. I welcome the other panelist and who will also be interviewing you for some time. So before we start, tell us something about yourself, Margi.
Good afternoon, sir. Myself, Margi Shah. I'm 25 years old and I'm from Ahmedabad, Gujarat. I have completed my graduation in computer engineering from Lalbhai Dalpatbhai College. And my hobbies include reading Western fiction books and learning Spanish language.
Okay. And where did you do your schooling? That too from Ahmedabad only?
Yes, sir. From Samarpan Ahmedabad, from St. Anne's High School, and then higher secondary from St. Xavier's High School.
Okay. And your degree course was a 4-year course?
Yes, sir.
Are you working somewhere or have you got any previous work experience?
Sir, I did some freelancing work for certain coaching institutes. But apart from that, I have not formally worked in some organization related to my academic course.
And you are not thinking of any other career other than civil services?
So right now I'm entirely focused on my career in civil services.
Okay, good. So I request the panelists to kindly take on.
Good afternoon, Margi. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir. I'm very good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so the first question that comes up is entirely from your background, which you are not using, which is computer science. Now, you must have heard of this term called large language models in artificial intelligence.
Yes, sir.
Now, tell me, we are laymen, we are not engineers, but we keep hearing things about the AI replacing humans at most of the jobs which are repetitive in nature, including jobs which require application of mind. Now, tell me, in your perception, how serious is this threat?
Okay, sir. So firstly, in the short term, due to the very nature of AI, we might experience this creative destruction, which we have also faced with the previous technologies when there was the boom of internet, and before that, even the incoming of computers and PCs. So in the short term, there might be a job loss of repetitive jobs, as you rightly mentioned, and the jobs that could be automated. However, when we reskill and upskill ourselves, AI does open up plethora of opportunities, such as we are now seeing prompt engineer as one of the upcoming job profiles. Secondly, it could be virtual guides on AR, VR tools, and also the creation of AR, VR software, which could be complemented by AI. So all this would need upskilling and reskilling from the foundational level that could be included in our school courses. Apart from that, for the working individuals as well to upskill themselves while on the job.
So, in your perception, the threat, although is topical, but is not of a lasting nature. In your perception, it's only going to help employment potential in the long run, right?
If we adapt ourselves rightly to it, certainly, sir.
So tell me, I mean, when we think about the process with which we think using our minds, one thing peculiar about our mind is that the mind also, most of the time, knows its own limitations and tries to reach beyond to learn more and more. Do you think AI can actually replicate that process of the mind where knowing its own limitation, it tries to expand itself? In other words, can AI become self-aware at some point of time, in your opinion? Just a theoretical question.
We are looking for that when we are training on deep learning models, which works on the artificial neural networks and tries to simulate the similar nervous system that we have in our brains as well. But in the near future, I do not see AI as becoming self-aware. It will take a significant amount of time for AI to become self-aware and conscious about its own limitations.
All right. Now, shifting gear, let's talk about the latest trend that we see in the world economy these days of countries using tariff as a tool to make other nations fall in line with its own policies or its own self-interest or national interest or whatever they might like to call it. What do you think is the impact on the global economy in terms of its efficiency? Because I'm just telling you where I'm coming from. You see, we grew up in an era where free trade was supposed to be a good thing for the world economy because it brought down costs and brought about efficiencies. Now, if countries are going to become more and more regionalized, more inward looking, using tariff, which ultimately has an impact on the cost of production, etc., etc. What do you foresee as the rationale or the effect of this kind of competition among nations to prefer their local economies over the world economy?
Firstly, in the short term, I see that will have a kind of detrimental impact on the global supply chain, as the global supply chain right now is very integrated, and tariffs on one raw material or the other might have a spillover effect on the global economy and its global production. However, we are seeing an era of new kind of globalization where there is a rising trend of minilateralism or friendshoring, as the term is being used, where countries are looking towards their friend nations or partner nations, which could have greater converging interests beyond trade as well, so that there could be greater sectors in which they can cooperate. Where we also see that China plus one policy is gaining traction because the global economy is heavily dependent on China for raw materials and the originating contents like APIs for the pharmaceutical industry. So we are trying to shift and diversify our market so that the globalization does not crumble or is based on one particular economy to survive.
Right. We heard of things like more and more accent towards providing direct benefit to people, a trend that has become accentuated in the various state level elections that we have seen. You have all sorts of schemes which tend to promise things on or even cash transfers on a regular basis. On the one hand, it has a salutarious effect of providing basic minimum sustenance to people, like your free food scheme, or even
Yes.
scholarships to people, direct financial aid to women, etc., etc., etc. There's a perverse argument which says that this kind of extension of freebies is having a twofold effect. Number one, it is fiscally not prudent, which means that you spend beyond your resources. And it also has an indirect perverse effect of people not wanting to actually work for sustenance. We have had chairmen of large construction infrastructure companies ruining the fact that it's very difficult to get labor these days. For a country like India, which produces almost, which needs almost a crore of jobs every year. So number one is job creation, which is the demand side, and the other is the supply side, which is the people participating in the labor force. How do you think this dynamic plays into that?
So, sir, as you've rightly pointed, there is a perverse effect to the freebies, as they are popularly called, when direct cash transfers are made. We could focus more on the welfare schemes, which focus on creating social infrastructure, maybe in health and education, and provide the goods that complement to that. For example, providing free laptops could bridge digital divide that we see in geographically or on the basis of gender. So, and secondly, the freebies or the transfers that are made should help in capacity building of the citizens so that the dependence on the government or the state reduces in the future to come rather than depending on the cash benefits of the state in the longer run. So I believe that the capacity building by the state and long term investment in the social infrastructure should be the way to go to handle both these issues with a single approach.
So you do feel that it has a negative impact on the fiscal health of the various state governments, and perhaps course correction is required.
Yes, sir. Fiscal prudence is the way to go, and course correction in the right way should be the way to go.
Should be the way to go. As something connected to this, we have not seen the emphasis on skilling people as there should be, because, as you know, a very large percentage of our population is still engaged in agriculture. And now what's happening is we are either having job creation at the highest end, people like yourself, computer science graduates, etc., finance experts. But in the manufacturing sector, there is this lack of jobs on one hand, and on the other hand, there's also a skill gap, which has a direct linkage with productivity. What do you think is missing? The government is putting its emphasis on many things. Skill development is an emphasis. It has a dedicated ministry for it, but you don't really see the impact. Almost a crore of jobs should be created almost every year, but actually the numbers don't match up. For example, the IT industry in all employs just about 30 lakh people. If we need job creation on a large scale, skilling of people, what do you think is the missing piece? Where exactly are we going wrong? Why have we not done it at the same pace at which we have created expressways, the electrical generation? What do you think is missing in this? Just wanted your view on this.
Sir, first, I think would be the mindset about vocational training, which is not given equal importance like the academic qualifications when we see. And even the economic survey pointed to the fact that only 1 out of 2 engineering graduates is employable. So the focus on skilling is less from the foundational level, and the industry academia mismatch that we have while designing our courses is also another reason that could be why we see this huge skill gap. And thirdly, the on the job training perspective seems largely missing when we see in the manufacturing industry, where we have low skilled or semi skilled jobs and they do not upgrade themselves while on the job. So that could also be done by the private sector initiatives as well.
Okay, so the last question from my side. We have recently seen a change at the highest level in the regulator called Securities and Exchange Board of India. So you must have heard of this organization which regulates the financial markets, the capital markets. We
Yes.
had a private sector person heading the thing, and now we have a government official who is now put at the helm of affairs. Do you see regulation of financial markets as something which is done more effectively by a person who comes from the industry and has the necessary background, or by a person who has been part of the government, who may have a very top level understanding of these things, but not the nitty gritty part which an organization like SEBI is supposed to look at? Where exactly do you think lies the balance?
Um,
This is a private sector versus a government sector regulator.
Yes, sir.
Civil servants as regulators, professionals as regulators. It's an open question. I
Uh,
mean, if you have a view, please share with us.
Sir, I believe that the objective of private sector and government is very different. While the objective of government is to ensure facilitation, regulation, and objective decision making, which is not aimed towards direct profit. That is something missing in the private sector, which aims for profit. So, the individual, whoever is being selected, be it a government official or from a private industry, must be aware of the objective of the organization, which is regulation, and not have the mindset they might be previously working in, which is for profit maximization. And while it will certainly help to have the industry knowledge and the nitty-gritties, because as the national regulator, one must be very aware of it. The objective should be very clear, and the rationale behind it should be the welfare and the appropriate and prudent regulation of the capital markets of the nation.
All right. So I think I'll stop here and then pass it on to my senior colleague.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You can wait till the end of the interview
Absolutely.
So we can have the feedback given to this candidate. So moving on from what the panelist had asked earlier, you are from a state called Gujarat, which is known for its entrepreneurship. And very few people from that state, that is Gujarat, have been joining the civil services in the past. What is it that makes you think of joining the civil services? Is it some kind of a trend in Gujarat, or why are you also planning to join the government, which very few people from Gujarat join?
So the reason for very few people joining it was first the lack of awareness. So in the recent times, there has been a rising trend of awareness, and with institutions like the Sardar Patel Institute of Public Administration, which provides incentive as well as guidance to students like me, it has made it a lot easier to pursue a career in civil services. So personally, I want to pursue my career in civil services because it will provide me the diversity of opportunities that no other job can provide. Also, the kind of job satisfaction I would have to make a direct and a huge impact on the people of the society from all sections, and the grassroots that it will make me reach. I believe that that is the reason why I am willing to pursue a career in civil services.
Even if you do not get your home state and you are posted in Manipur, you'd be keen to work in the government.
Certainly, sir. I am aware of the duties that I will be willing to pursue, and so whichever state I am allotted, whichever cadre I am allotted, I will wholeheartedly do my duty as the same.
We had this slogan called minimum government, maximum governance, right? So what are the sectors you think, or what are the areas you think that the government should get out of? I mean, they should not be in that business at all and leave it to the private sector or the cooperative sector. Can you think of any examples where government should not be there?
Sir, government has already withdrawn itself from multiple sectors, like the major industries in the secondary sector, the IT sector as well. Government is not government is not a part of it. It is only acting as a facilitator. So I think government has withdrawn from multiple sectors, and even it is slowly phasing out of sectors like railway and defense. But the sectors that need the welfare approach to it, like the railways, which are the connecting India, so government cannot completely back out of it.
You forgot the airlines.
Yes, sir, I did.
You forgot
yes,
the
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
and between international relations and national politics, what would you like to? What is one of your interest? International relations or national politics?
So between the both of them, I think international relations.
So then I will ask you about international relations only. India's stand in the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas and between Ukraine and Russia. What is our stand, and how do you think it is justified or not justified?
Okay, sir. So firstly, India's stand in the Israel-Hamas war conflict is very clear that it proposes a two-state solution, with a wider consensus, and also focuses on ceasefire and humanitarian assistance to the people of Gaza, which it has already done through medicines and food supplies. It has also acted as an effective party in that, and continuously called for that. Our honorable PM, as he said, that this is not an era of war, and so we have continuously focused on ceasefire. That stand is justified because India has always focused on humanitarian welfare, and the two-state solution highlights India's focus on the fact that people should have a say in determining their own state, and the conflict should have long-term peace, which should be determined by the people of that area itself.
But
And sir, in the Russia-Ukraine war,
please,
yes, sir.
please continue.
Okay, sir. So in the Russia-Ukraine war also, again, India has called for ceasefire and called for a long-term peace solution. India has also been called by multiple countries to act as a mediator, as it has good relations with both the Ukraine and Russia. And India has also sent medical supplies in the form of Bhishma cubes and food supplies to Ukraine. So India has always vouched for peace, and it is continuing to do the same.
But as far as the Palestine issue is concerned, you yourself said two-state solution. The other state, that is the country, Palestine as a country, has still not been allowed to be made by all the Western powers.
Yes.
So
Yes,
has
sir.
India played some active role in making sure that, okay, we recognize PLO for some time, but should the Palestine state not come into existence as an independent country rather than, Israel harassing it like anything?
Sir, that has multiple historical reasons, and the role of the proxies recently, like Hamas and Hezbollah, playing the role in the region, is also somewhere obstructing that transfer of power to Palestine. So, firstly, the fragmented nature of politics in the Palestinian region itself needs to be more integrated so that they can make self-determination about their sovereignty.
And how did the Ukraine war start in the first place? What is your assessment? How did it start?
Sir, Russia termed that operation as a special military. I'm forgetting the word, but it said that it was an approach to take back to ensure the welfare of the Russians in the Donbas region of the Ukraine. But it escalated into a full-blown conflict, and then it was termed a war. But Russia does not still accept it as a war, and it still says that it was one of its military operations, specialized military operation that it did.
Is it not because Ukraine wanted to join NATO, whereas the Western powers had given a guarantee that we will not allow these countries to join NATO? It's like if China
Yes, sir.
comes to Nepal, how will the Indians feel? Right?
Yes, sir. That was also one of the major reasons why it did that operation in the first place. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, coming to your own state, Lothal has been very famous for its ancient Indus Valley port. Which are the ports under development in the state of Gujarat, which are going to be really massive?
Sorry, sir. I'm unable to recall the name of any right now.
Okay, Dholera.
So Dholera is the special investment region that is being built, and it is the greenfield infrastructure that they are willing to make in there, which will attract multiple investments from domestic as well as foreign industries.
Have you visited any other part of the country? And which are the parts you have visited? India.
Sir, unfortunately, I have not visited a lot of
Somewhere?
states, but I've only visited Mumbai until
Only
now.
visited Mumbai.
And last year Delhi because of my personality test.
And if you would like to go somewhere, where would you like to visit for the first time outside Gujarat? And tell me.
Sir, I would really like.
And second part of my question, how will you go other than air? Tell me.
Okay, sir.
Tell me.
Sir, I would like to visit Kerala.
So how will you go to Kerala?
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah. Okay, so how do you go to Kerala?
Sir, I will wish to go there by train because I want to experience the Konkan stretch of the route, and I really want to witness that beautiful landscape.
And Kerala is a very big state. So where in Kerala will you go?
Sir, I'm not sure about that. I will want to see the backwaters that are very famous. about Kerala.
That's all. Okay. And you also mentioned about fiction, about reading modern
Yes,
fiction and all that. What kind
yes,
of
sir.
books have you read recently or maybe in the last 5, 6 years?
Sir, I have read the romance genre and the domestic fiction books and books by Haruki Murakami. Uh, can I name a few?
Domestic fiction, yes, please do.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have read Killing Commendator and Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. And I have read The Four Winds written by Kristin Hanna. And in the,
I said domestic.
yes, sir.
It's domestic, Indian.
So The Four Winds was a genre for domestic fiction. Can I elaborate a little on that?
Please. No, the names of the authors which you have read.
Okay, sir. So Kristin Hanna is one, and second I have read is Khalid Hosseini, his book A Thousand Splendid Suns.
He is a Pakistani.
So
Uh,
he's not from Pakistan, he's from Afghanistan, I believe.
Okay, but he's not an Indian.
He's
Doesn't
not an Indian. Sir, I have not read Indian authors
great.
as
So,
much.
a last question before we end this interview. You said you are also learning Spanish. Have you heard of something,
Yes.
an app called Duolingo?
So that is where I'm learning the language from.
You are learning, but then how do you learn the alphabets and everything in Duolingo?
So, Duolingo has a different approach to learning. It introduces basic words and sentences, and it does not follow the traditional method of teaching alphabets and sounds and articles. It introduces the language very smoothly and
So they make
in
you
a very phased manner.
conversational Spanish, not Spanish as such.
Yes,
Okay, great.
Spanish as a language. Yes, sir.
Spanish as a language. Okay. And how many minutes do you spend per day?
Sir, minimum 30 minutes a day.
Okay. So that means you do 4 or 5 rounds.
I have yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm
I
aware
have
of
reached
you.
an early B1 level of proficiency.
Oh, that's good. So you've
Right.
done more than 1 year plus in Duolingo.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Great,
sir.
great, great. So thank you very much, Margi. And we would
Thank you.
now like to give you some comments. So I'll request my panelists to first give you a feedback on how it went. Please.
Okay, sir.
yeah. All right, Margi. See, there's a reason why the civil services interview is not called an interview. It's called a personality test,
Yes, sir.
right? So let's start with the good things. Number one, you're articulate. Number two, you're able to express your knowledge coherently. Your diction is fine. Your body language is perfect. Where I think you could do a little better, you see, and we have all been through this. In a personality test, appearing knowledgeable and articulating your knowledge is one part of it. Owning it up as a personal opinion is again a skill. Now, one can understand that if somebody asks you a question and you are well up on the subject, there is a perfect answer to that. But that perfect answer is known to the panelist also.
Yes, sir.
So panelist is not looking at a perfect answer. It is looking at your view.
Yes, sir.
How do you personalize that thing? So while there is a basic ground level material available, please try to express it as an opinion coming from your own conviction
Right, sir.
without in any way attempting to make it polarized or one view strictly against the other. Not you see, we are all fallen in the trap of trying to find the middle path while giving a, this is there, but however, that's a very standard way of responding to a thing.
Yes,
So try and bring in your own personal conviction as much to the fore without losing the balance.
right, sir.
Right. And we have not had, sir has had occasion to speak to you about diverse subjects which go beyond the subject of various optionals or general studies that you may have taken. But I would feel that keeping abreast of current affairs, in particular, for example, the question on the ports in Gujarat,
Yes, sir.
that is something that should have
Yes,
elicited
sir. I should have
immediate
known
response.
that.
Yeah, I
Yes,
mean
sir.
Pipwa port, or so I think while you seem to be fairly well grounded as far as the subjects are concerned, in terms of your personal conviction, that is number one. That is something that you need to work upon. And secondly, I think more and more of current affairs,
Yes, sir.
uh, how things are around you. So that, in brief, is what I would like to convey to you. Sir, on to you now.
But I think
Sir.
wonderfully explained. You wonderfully explained everything. I would just supplement what he said. You have to brush up about India and your state, because these are things that
Yes.
people will ask you. And it is, see, the future of India is all about development. And development is all about infrastructure and business and all these
Yes.
things. So you need to know whatever is happening in the field of ports, especially because Gujarat has the biggest coastline.
Yes,
And
the coastline.
you need to know. And I didn't go further because I could have gone to similar, but then idea is not to, as he said very correctly, you are not being interviewed for your knowledge, but a overall personality. To repeat, you are
Yes.
coming on as a very sincere, a very pleasant candidate. It's nice to interview you, but then that will not take you beyond a certain limit, right?
Yes, sir.
And especially like Kerala, you said, if you say you want to go to Kerala, you should know where in Kerala and why.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because you
That
said,
was a very, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I should have elaborated more on why Kerala and why such a specific state. I should
yeah.
have known more about it. Yes, sir.
Let me tell you very honestly, long back, many years back, when I had appeared for the same exam, I was asked where I would like to go. And I said, I want to go to Arunachal Pradesh. And why? And I had to explain, and I was able to convince them why Arunachal is worth a visit at that time, because it was like far from everywhere. So anyway, I don't know whether it
Okay.
went right or wrong, but then if you say something, you have to back up. And as far as
Yes.
I tried to put you in a trap, but then you also have to have the facts about the Israel and the Palestine question. Just because there have
Yes,
been
sir.
many resolutions, they are member of the UN, yet not a member of the UN, and these two
Yes.
conflicts today are the most important conflicts. And
Yes.
one more
Right.
thing you need to brush up, because of course one did not have the time, and maybe you will not get that question. Should you continue to trade with countries like Russia in a barter form or in form of rubles, and not, I mean, bypassing, I mean, you are still having trade with Russia while the whole world keeps them as a pariah, correct? So be more
Right.
prepared about these two things. And
Yes.
as far as other current affairs are concerned, Manipur and Tamil Nadu, these are the things which are burning, because I think your interview would be in the next
Yes,
1
sir.
month or so. So both of them are
Yes, sir.
not going to get solved in the short period. And every day, whatever is happening, please be prepared about that. And linked to that would be the National Education Policy, NEP.
Yes, sir. The three language
Yeah,
issue
so
that's currently burning.
you prepare yourself. Otherwise, you come on very well. And I am very happy that you are very serious about the interview, because in Gujarat people are not. But as they say in Gujarati, "Bahut saras interview bhai." Okay, ठीक है.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very
Just one more thing to
Please.
round up. Apart from what Sir has just told you, the delimitation exercise
Yes.
Yes, sir.
of the seats, that is also a burning topic, and it's likely to form part of a interview. So I think you would do well to study that in depth.
Correct.
Sir, I had one question on my part. The question that you asked about whether a government person, a government official, or a private sector official should be the one to regulate, what should have been the answer? I thought my answer was very. I did not take a stand on that as to who should be, and I just said that you need to have both. But what should be the answer?
No, actually, there's no perfect answer, frankly speaking. There is no perfect answer, and I'll tell you why. We saw this spectacle in the Reserve Bank of India where for a very long tenure it was managed by a thorough professional, an extremely erudite person, of lots of
Yes, sir.
regard for Dr. Guram Rajan.
Yes.
And then in between, the academic rigor came in so much of friction with the overall context of regulation that he had to exit, and he was replaced by a bureaucrat. He was replaced, first of all, by another academician
Urjit
who
Patel.
again quit within a year, and then replaced by a career bureaucrat
Yes,
who,
sir.
during this course of COVID and way beyond, managed the regulation of banking industry in such a fine manner. So I think that there's one thing is the experience that you bring to the table. The other thing is also to have a perspective of how things are in the broad horizon. I mean, nothing is an island in itself.
Right, sir.
So
So, sir, can I use this example to back up my point if I say that a government official, the experience that he
an
brings in?
absolutely valid example. That would
Okay.
also show that you have a certain view on how things play out in real life as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Right.
Good. Chalo. All the best. All the
Thank
best.
you
All the
very
best.
much, sir.
All the best.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Satyen.
sir.
Thank you very much.
Right.
All the best,
Sign off now.
Marty. And thank you so much, sir. Thank you for contributing for today's mock interview, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Always well.